Thanks for joining us, Tom. I appreciate it. Looking forward to having you at our kickoff event on April 28th at 5 p.m. for the Heart Lakes Fishing League. So before that, I wanted to give our attendees a chance to get to know you better. So share some background information about yourself and how you became so involved in the fishing industry.
Well, I mean, basically, I started late. So I like to try to be an inspiration, if you will, for people who, are my age. I'm 44 years old. I really didn't get started fishing, period, out of a boat until probably 8 years ago. And it was the first time I ever set foot in a boat. I was growing up as a kid, fishing some farm ponds and stuff like that in Arkansas. I, just our family didn't have the money for a boat, not even a little one to put on the ponds. But I just had that passion for fishing, as strange as it is, even just from the pond bank. And so, went to college up in Minnesota. Got finished with that. I didn't even use my degree. I was introduced to the fingernail salon business of all things, and really loved it. And then started my own business, and 20 some years later, about 16, 17 years later is when I decided, okay, I'm going to buy my first boat. And it's kind of crazy thinking back at it now, like I bought that first boat, and that was the first boat I ever set foot in. But that gave me, I think the advantage being that nobody taught me anything. I had to learn on the fly. I had to learn as things progressed, and I just learned forward-facing sonar, and it became it just became where it is. I've had a good run in the walleye tournament scene, and I'm looking forward to try to continue that. Even though people are catching up, with the use of technology, it's still fun. But I like to be the inspiration, like to let people know that it's not too late. If it's a dream, at least try it. And just work hard for it too. And for the kids out there, work. This isn't something you can just go do. And the harder you work for it, the more you appreciate it, and the better you'll be at it. That goes with anything. And don't limit yourself when you're looking for work. Don't what your career is going to be too. I want to be that model for kids growing up to be like, look at me doing fingernails. I grew up on a cattle farm, and then I fish professionally, So do what you like to do, and you'll be successful at it. So
That's good. So how has fishing equipment, particularly electronics, changed in the last decade or so?
it's huge. So, I mean, you go back to the latest technology before forward-facing sonar. It was like Humminbird 360. You get a 360 view around your boat, even though it is not in real time. It's, there's a lag, of course, but even when that came out, and even go before that to side scan, it changed things. It's just been progressing for the past 20, 30 years, and technology won't stop. Like with side scan, with the 360 view. At that time too, there was people who said, "Oh, it shouldn't be legal. It shouldn't be legal." But then now you got forward-facing sonar and live view of what's under the water, and that advanced technology. But again, like I said, technology is not going to stop, but it sure has changed things. And it's all what it comes down to is our responsibility. We need to learn to be responsible in the water. Who cares if you go out and catch 20, 30, 40, 50 walleyes a day? You're not going to hurt the population if you're practicing catch and release and just keeping what you're going to use for for your fish fries, things like that. So teaching your kids, teaching your grandkids, and being responsible yourself is the best thing. And the tournaments for the past 2 years dominated by the use of electronics, so it's changed big time in the past 6 years. It's been nuts.
Yeah, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but electronics sometimes gets a bad rap for making fishing too easy. What's your response to that?
It's not easy. Try it. So the people who are complaining or opposed to forward-facing sonar, they wouldn't be opposed to it if, for example, they let me teach them how to use it for real. Like if they could be in the boat with me for a day, like 3 or 4 foot waves, casting at fish in current, it's not easy. There's a few of us who've been doing it since its inception, and when I first started fishing, that's a few years later, that's the electronics I bought, because I'm like, okay, I saved the money, I'm going to learn how to use this. And since I was able to do that, it's been really good for me. But again, that's all I've used. I used it since the beginning, learned the ins and outs of it. But yes, like, just learn it. The people who are complaining about it, they would not complain about it if they were efficient with it. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Like, if they were efficient out of the front of the boat, casting at fish, having fun, there's no way they could say that it was a bad time. So
Yeah, you still got to catch the fish. Even though you see them, you still got to catch them.
you still got to catch them. I mean, right here in Erie, Lake Erie, I've been pre-fishing for the first NWT event of the year, and predominantly a trolling lake. And I've been stubborn and just focusing on casting while I've been here. It's been tough. Like, the guys who are trolling are out catching me big time, but I'm still determined that I'm going to find that bite. So it's not as easy as the haters say it is. They just don't get it yet. And I urge them to let me or somebody teach them how to use it.
Yeah. So what is some advice you would give anglers who are too nervous to try out the new electronics?
Just do it. That's all I can say. Like, so with Garmin LiveScope, that's a brand of electronics that I use, and I believe that the technology is superb with that. Still, I believe I would just tell them to get it, set it, and use it. There's so many settings. I get it. There's a lot of people intimidated with the use of forward-facing sonar because they are intimidated with all of the settings on the screens from that Garmin or any brand puts in there, really. But really, it's overboard. I'll be honest with you. A lot of companies put all these settings in there because we complain as consumers that our screens aren't clear enough or you're not seeing fish. Yes, you are, but then people haven't realized it. And so, like, I am going to be teaching people literally how to set their settings in their LiveScope screens and not touch them. Set them one time and you're done. Like, you're completely done. You minimal settings here and there from lake to lake, but I think that's what keeps a lot of people from trying it, is the fact that they think they're not going to set it up right. But it's actually very, very, very easy. And I'll be teaching people how to do that very soon.
Yeah, so kind of going on our next question. So we're excited to have Tom at a kickoff event April 28th at 5 p.m. at the Fergus Falls High School Auditorium. So he's going to talk about a few things. I want to highlight that first. We will be giving away one lifetime license to a student in attendance, and we're going to be giving 2 Minnesota lifetime licenses to adults in attendance, as well as over $1,000 in Shields gift cards. So we encourage people to come attend that event. So we're hoping to draw a big crowd at the kickoff event, Tom. What should attendees expect to hear from you?
I want people to bring their questions. I mean, I'm going to start off and explain and talk about a lot about forward-facing sonar because, there's going to be a lot of attendees who are big into bass fishing as well. And you look at the Bassmaster Elite Series, it's being predominated this year with kids not much older than this going to be coming to this thing that are winning the Bassmaster Elite events. And so I'm going to be talking about how to use it, what to look for, different presentations for walleyes, bass, things like that. Any questions they have, please bring them. It's going to be electronics focused mostly, but anything they have for me, please just bring your questions, and we'll have that kind of a forum where you can interrupt me anytime during the deal, ask a question, and yeah, it'll be good.
Sounds good. Appreciate your time, Tom, and good luck on Erie for the first NWT tournament. Appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Take care.